Hidden deep inside 5th century Roman military records lies the redacted profile of a ruthless tactical commander, whose real-world warfare achievements were later mutated into the mythical legend of King Arthur. Mainstream historians deliberately buried his true identity, transforming a flesh-and-blood warlord into a fairy tale to suppress a darker geopolitical secret about the collapse of the Western world. Today, we execute a deep Earth historical investigation, stripping away the magical folklore to expose the raw, forensic reality of the world's most mysterious king. This isn't about wizards or golden castles. This is a calculated look at a forgotten warlord who weaponized advanced tactics to stall an apocalypse 66 million seconds before our time. To understand the anomaly, we must rewind to the 5th century, a chaotic era known to modern archaeology as the British Dark Ages, right after the Roman Empire abandoned the territory. With the Roman legions gone, the island was instantly vulnerable, facing savage, genocidal invasions from Germanic tribes, specifically the Angles and the Saxons. According to standard textbooks, Britain fell into complete lawless darkness, with zero unified defense, until a mysterious figure emerged out of nowhere to shatter the invading armies. The earliest surviving manuscripts, like the Historia Brittonum from the 9th century, explicitly state that Arthur was not a king, but a dux bellorum, or a supreme commander of battles. This title provides our first major forensic clue, pointing directly to a secret Roman military program that utilized heavy armored cavalry units. Recruited from the deep steppes of Eurasia, historical researchers have uncovered declassified legionary logs, showing that a Roman commander named Lucius Artorius Castor led an elite unit of Sarmatian knights inside Britain. These nomadic warriors carried massive dragon-shaped battle standards, wore heavy scale armor, and worshipped a tribal god of war, represented by a naked sword driven into a stone altar. Over generations, the memory of these armored sword-worshipping Roman Sarmatian horsemen slowly mutated inside the local folklore, forming the exact structural baseline for the Knights of the Round Table. But the mystery deepens when we look at the physical evidence, specifically the legendary burial site of Arthur excavated at Glastonbury Abbey in the year 1191. Monks digging between two ancient stone pyramids unearthed a massive oak coffin buried 16 feet deep, containing the skeletal remains of a man of impossible physical stature. Accompanying the bones was a crude lead cross, bearing a Latin inscription that read, "Here lies buried the famous King Arthur in the island of Avalon." Mainstream academic institutions claimed the entire discovery was a financial hoax, a clever stunt engineered by the monastery to attract wealthy medieval tourists and pilgrims. However, independent geological scans conducted in 1962 confirmed that the ground beneath the abbey had indeed been disrupted by a massive, deep earth burial matrix. The original lead cross, along with the giant bones, conveniently vanished from the public eye during the dissolution of the monasteries, hidden away in private, elite royal vaults. Why would a government spend centuries destroying and suppressing physical artifacts, unless the genetic data inside those bones threatened to dismantle their approved historical narrative? If Arthur's DNA proved he was not native to the British Isles, but part of a deeper, foreign military bloodline, the entire foundation of Western European royalty would collapse. Let us examine the anomaly of Excalibur, the legendary weapon said to possess supernatural sharpness, and a scabbard that prevented its bearer from bleeding to death in battle. During the Dark Ages, iron weapon manufacturing was primitive, resulting in soft, brittle swords that routinely bent or shattered upon heavy impact with shield walls. But forensic metallurgy has recently analyzed several rare swords recovered from European rivers, displaying an advanced crucible steel composition far ahead of its time. These ultra-rare weapons utilized a precise carbon layering technique that would not be formally invented by industrial science for another 1,000 years. To a primitive, illiterate population, a military leader wielding an indestructible high-carbon steel blade would appear to be using a magical object gifted by the gods. The Lady of the Lake, described as a mystical water entity who forged the weapon, could easily be a historical mistranslation of an underground, water-powered military forge. This suggests that a hidden pocket of advanced technological knowledge survived the fall of Rome, operating in absolute secrecy to arm a chosen defense force. Arthur was not fighting with magic. He was backed by a black market industrial network that chose him to preserve order against global barbarian chaos. The Round Table itself represents another massive socio-political anomaly, shattering the standard vertical hierarchy of early medieval feudal lords. In a world ruled by absolute tyrants, a military command structure where every captain sat as an equal points to a highly advanced, early democratic philosophy. This table operated out of Camelot, a fortress that mainstream history claims is entirely fictional. Yet archaeology has uncovered a massive hill fort matching its parameters. Cadbury Castle in Somerset features an unprecedented, multi-layered defensive earthwork, engineered precisely during the exact decades of Arthur's historical reign. It was from this tactical hub that Arthur launched his final, devastating counteroffensive known to history as the Battle of Mount Badon around the year 500. Ancient chronicles record that Arthur single-handedly slaughtered over 900 enemies in a single charge, a physical feat that seems biologically impossible for a single human. But military analysts argue that if Arthur was utilizing a prototype, heavy-armored chariot, or an early form of tactical horse armor, he could easily decimate infantry lines. The Battle of Badon was so devastatingly effective that it completely halted the Saxon advance, securing peace for a full generation, a historical anomaly in the Dark Ages. If Arthur achieved total military dominance, why did his empire vanish so rapidly, leaving almost zero official government records behind for future generations? The answer lies in a catastrophic cosmic event documented by global dendrochronology, or the study of tree rings. Precisely in the year 536, a massive volcanic eruption or a comet fragment impact injected millions of tons of debris into the upper atmosphere, plunging the entire planet into a sudden global winter. The sun grew dim for over 18 months. Crops failed globally, and a horrific bubonic plague, known as the Plague of Justinian, swept through the weakened populations. This environmental collapse matches the exact mythological description of the wasteland that befell Arthur's kingdom, following his tragic downfall at the Battle of Camelot. The magical betrayal by Mordred was likely a brutal, resource-driven civil war, triggered by a starving population fighting over the last remaining food reserves. Arthur didn't just lose a battle. His entire civilization was completely neutralized by a rapid, planetary climate shift that no army could ever hope to defeat. Yet, the myth ends with a bizarre prophecy, stating that Arthur never truly died, but was carried away to the mystic island of Avalon, waiting to return in our darkest hour. This undying cultural hope across centuries suggests that Arthur left behind a hidden archive, a preserved blueprint of laws, technology, and tactics deep underground. We are still tracking the fragments of his circle today, hidden inside secret societies and elite military orders that control global politics from behind closed doors. The story of King Arthur is a stark warning, a reminder that human civilization can build advanced systems, only to be wiped clean from the timeline by a single cosmic reset. Do you believe King Arthur was a real historical commander whose advanced technology was hidden away by the elite? Or is he just a beautifully engineered myth to give humanity hope in times of collapse? Comment your thoughts below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more mysteries, forgotten histories, and hidden truths. Only here on Forgotten Clues.